In the global volatile economic environment where geopolitics is taking place, tariffs are becoming more and more hindrance for the businesses, and they are becoming more challenging. Sometimes we wonder what is the history of tariffs. US, one of the first act was Tariff Act of 1789. As US and global tariff rates increased during the Great Depression, those days US exports decreased. Protectionist policies caused by collapse of international trade in early 1930s, that this trade shrinking was a plausible seed for the World War II. Economists believe that a resulting trade war added to the global economic crisis. During Great Depression, Smoot-Hawley Traffic Act of 1930 was passed to revive domestic industry, raising taxes on 25% of the imported goods, raised the tariff to the highest level in 1828. But since 1934, the US reduced to eliminate many tariffs. Following the World War II, US facilitated rebuilding of global economy, removing the barriers between nations on trading goods. This policy was called trade liberalization. It resulted in establishment of General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, GATT, in 1947. And it was a successor of the modern World Trade Organization. It structured a framework to prevent trade wars by escalating rules for use of tariffs to reduce trade barriers, trade negotiations, and dispute resolution between countries. Creation of these institutions resulted in a significant increase in global trade. World Trade Organization, which has about 164 members, it's a framework for trade among members. World Trade Organization's most favored nation rule is import tariff set by member country to another country must apply to all members at the same rate, designed to establish generally low tariff rule-based system. Of course, there are some exceptions that the members are allowed to establish free trade agreements like Canada, US, and Mexico's free trade agreement among themselves to reduce barriers on export. They can also make exceptions to ease burden on developing countries or respond to certain other trade practices. So the current trade tariffs, they are creating big problems for the countries because they are violating the World Trade Organization's mandate and the way the countries have been trading in the past. President Trump's tariffs, they have initiated a new trade war, and the businesses are suffering both on the importer side and the exporter side. It has given birth to a new confrontation amongst different countries. Countries like Canada, who are reliable ally, a good friend, a good neighbor, and a strong business partner, they have been turned into adversaries. It is a big rift between European countries and the neighboring countries, Canada and Mexico. In such crisis time, when the historical events which I mentioned, the creation of tariffs and then development of various institutions, GATT and World Trade Organization, it leads us to the modern times when these tariffs are creating big challenges. They can push the global business environment into a recession. To avoid that, Global Chamber of Commerce and Industry is playing a significant role. That's why we ask businesses, whether you are working or owning a small, medium, or large size business, Join Global Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that historical lessons learned can be practiced and all the challenges and contributions and the global environment for doing business is made conducive. The governments are told what to do so that they don't take political band-aid solution or create similar environments challenging the businesses. So joining Global Chamber of Commerce will give you a strong voice and help you to raise your voice so that the governments can hear. You can join Global Chamber of Commerce at the same website www.gcoci.ca, or you can email at info@gcoci.ca.